Hello, my dear students. So, here I am back with another chapter. So, today we are going to do class 7th second unit and the first chapter of second unit. So, the second unit is Wanderlust. Before starting all the things, let's talk about this. What is the meaning of Wanderlust? Means a very strong desire to travel. So, in this unit, we will be talking about traveling, right? So our today chapter is first chapter of second unit, that is the quest of El Dorado. So El Dorado basically called as a city of gold, and in this chapter we will learn about the quests that are undertaken in the search of city of gold, right? Means in the search of El Dorado. So let's start this chapter. It was the promise of wealth beyond measure that lured the explorers. Means there was a surety of wealth that is beyond the measure. That was the only thing that lured the explorer, that tempted the explorer. Explorer means who used to travel and explore new things. So there was a surety that there is wealth somewhere that is beyond our measures. They traveled to seek out El Dorado, the mythical city of gold that was supposedly located in the unexplored interior of South America. El Dorado was believed to be unimaginably rich, with dazzling gold paved streets, golden temples, and rich mines of gold and silver. So now the explorer traveled to seek out El Dorado. So they traveled to find out to seek out El Dorado. El Dorado, said to be as the mythical city of gold, that was city supposed to be a city of gold, and that is found in, or that is located in unexplored interior of South America. Means the area or that interior part of South America that is totally unexplored. El Dorado was believed to be unimaginably rich. Means the El Dorado is the place that is unimaginably rich. That means the amount of wealth, as we have talked earlier, that was beyond measure. So El Dorado was believed to be unimaginably rich, with dazzling gold paved streets, golden temples, and rich mines of gold and silver. So from here we can find out that El Dorado believed to be city of gold, and everything that is covered there is of gold and silver, even the temple streets, and there are rich mines of gold and silver. There were fanciful tales about a mighty city where billets of gold lay about in heaps, as if they were logs of wood marked out to burn. So there was a tales about this city, that billets of gold, billets means the bars of gold, lay about in heaps. Heaps means like in a stack or bundle. So there was a tale, fanciful tales, that gold bar was lying in such a manner, or they are lying in a bundle, that if they seems like they are log of wood or they are just stack of wood that is meant to burn. Between 1530 and 1650 AD, thousands of Europeans searched the jungles, plains, mountains, and rivers of South America for El Dorado. So, between 1530 and 1650 AD, during this period, thousands of European people searched the jungles, plains, mountains, rivers, everywhere of South America for El Dorado. To find out El Dorado, people searched every part of that South America. An expedition would begin typically in a town on the Spanish coast. Expedition means that a journey by a group of people to research something, to explore something, or in intention to war. Like expedition means when group of people held a journey to explore something. So expedition was begin in a typical town on the Spanish coast. A charismatic means very impressive or attractive and influential individual would announce his intention to go forth in search of the fabled wealth of El Dorado. So people announced that we will be following the way and we will go ahead to search the wealth of El Dorado. Anywhere from 100 to 700 Europeans, mostly Spaniards, would sign up, bringing their own armor, weapons, and horses. So, since Europeans had started this journey in the search of El Dorado, During the time period of 1530 AD to 1650 AD, out of all those Europeans, on an average of 100 to 700, most of the people were Spaniards, and they were the only one who came forward and who bring their own armor, weapons, and their horses. And during that journey, they brought livestock to slaughter. Livestock means the farm animals. So they brought those animals along with them as their slaughter. Slaughter means to kill the animals for food. And another thing that they always brought fighting dogs along with them. So fighting dogs were useful to fight with the indigenous population. Indigenous populations, that means the belonging to a particular place or native to it. So to fight during that journey of any continent, they brought fighting dogs along with them. Next, once on South American soil, the expedition would head off into the jungle and would last any length of time from a few months to years. On the way, their explorers would meet native inhabitants who would be either tortured or plied with gifts in the pursuit of information. So, once the expedition started heading off into the jungle of South America, they would last any length of time, means they would last even for a few months or for a few years. So on the way, many of the explorers would meet their native inhabitants, and or who would either torture or plied with gifts. Plied with gift mean to keep giving somebody large amount of something. So they would either tortured by some people, some of the inhabitants, or they were honored with some of the gifts in the pursuit of information. Pursuit here means that the action to try get something. So in the pursuit of, for the sake of getting some information, they were honored with some of the gifts or anything. The natives would point in any direction and send them on their way, having learned that it was the best way to get rid of these rude and violent men. So the natives there, they just guided them for their way in any of the direction and send them their way. Doesn't matter for them that if it was right path or wrong, they just send them their way. So it was the best way for them to get rid of those rude and violent men. Meanwhile, illness, desertion, and attacks would whittle down the expedition. So, meanwhile, during the journey, some people got sick, and some of the desertion and attacks. Desertion means that some people left without any permission of their leader or anything, and some people killed and attacked by other of the people living in the jungle or by animals during the expedition. Nevertheless, the expedition proved surprisingly resilient, braving mosquito infection, swamps, angry natives, blazing heat of the plains, flooded rivers, and dangerous mountain passes. So during the journey, they have to pass out through all of these things. For example, braving mosquito infested swamps, angry natives, blazing heat on the plains, flooded rivers, and so many things. Eventually, when their number dribbled or the leader died, the expedition would give up and return home. So finally, when their number dwindled, so when they came to realize that their leader died, or the number of people that were with them during this expedition are dying due to some of reasons, that time they give up to the journey and they get back to their home, they return to their home. Of the Spanish adventures, the most persistent was bold explorer named Antonio de Berrio. He set out with 700 horsemen, but the route was difficult and exhausting. The natives usually hostile, and many of men, horses died or were slain. So, during this journey, if we talk about Spanish adventures, a person named Antonio de Berrio, he was the only persistent and only person bold explorer. Persistent means that person or someone who keeps on going no matter what is happening around him, or no matter who was trying to stop or who was trying to make him negative about his things. So Antonio de Berrio was the only bold explorer and persistent who continued his journey. He set out with 700 horsemen, but even the route was very difficult and exhaustive. The natives usually become hostile. Hostile means that angry or unkind or pugnacious. So during all the journey, some of the natives become angry or unkind, and many of the men and horses died during the journey, or many of them killed, slain. The surviving men were so weary and eager to return home that Berrio was forced to give up his quest. So all the people who were surviving during the journey were so eager. So at that time, Berio has to stop his journey. He he was forced by their surviving men or by the people that was with him in the journey. So all they were forcing to give up this quest, and he gave up, and they get back. He then settled on the island of Trinidad or as governor. So after all the things, once he gave up on their quest, they settled down on the island of Trinidad as their governor. The next to try his luck was the 42-year-old Walter Relic, who attempted the adventure which Berrio had failed to see through. So earlier, the Antonio was very much persistent and he was very bold explorer, but he failed and he gave up his quest. After Antonio, there was a lucky man who was 42-year-old named Walter Relic, who attempted the adventure, so which barrier was failed to see through. Relic had sent out various expeditions but had never crossed the ocean himself. So they had sent out various expeditions, they sent out many people to pass through the jungle and to complete their journey, but he himself never crossed the ocean. He now decided to seek this land of gold. So after all this, he decided himself to seek the land of gold, to search out the land of gold. In February 1595, he set sail from Plymouth with a fleet of 5 well-supplied vessels, taking with him about 100 gentlemen adventurers in addition to the crew members. So in 1595, he set a sail. He planned to start a journey. So with the 5 well-supplied vessels, he was taking up around 100 gentlemen adventurers in an addition to their crew members, as they were having many of the people with them, but in an addition of the crew members, he took 100 people with him, 100 explorers with him. Relic's fleet Relic's fleet was captured soon after and was quickly deprived of its cargo. About 2 months later, Relic sighted the hills of Trinidad. His eyes rested for the first time on the shores of that new world in which he had so long taken a keen interest. So now the Relic's fleet means large group of ships. So their ships were captured very soon, and after all the things, they were quickly deprived of its cargo, means they felt shortage of the goods that they carried in the ship. And after 2 months later, he saw the hills of Trinidad, and even after that, for the first time, he rested his eyes, he gave some rest on the shores of the new world. New world is basically, you can say, the Americas or East Earth's western hemisphere. So he rested there at the shore of New World. Governor Berrio had treated Relic with every courtesy, talking freely about his expedition and giving Relic a good deal of very useful information. So once he reached, after Governor Berrio had treated Relic with very courtesy and politeness, and he used to talk with him about his expedition, about his journey, and always gave him such information were very useful for Raleigh. Raleigh learned that his ships could not be taken up to Orinoco on the account of sandbanks at its mouth and its dangerous channels. He therefore felt it necessary to leave the ships at Trinidad and cross the mainland in the boats he had brought with him. So after he learned that he could not take up the ships from the Orinoco is the longest river in the South America. So he felt that he could not be able to pass the ships on the account of sandbags, and he felt it dangerous. So after that, he found it necessary to leave the ships at Trinidad, and he decided to cross the mainland with the boats that he brought with him in their ships. 100 men were chosen by the journey, while the others were left to the guard the fleet. So for the journey, 100 men were chosen and others were left at the guard of fleet in the group of ships. An old galley, a barge, a ship's boat, and 2 wherries carried them, along with a young native pilot who was familiar with the coast. But stormy weather hindered the voyagers, and they were glad enough to enter one of the mouths of the river and escape the seething ocean. But here new trouble surrounded that them Relic described later in the account of the expedition. So they carried some of the things like old galley, a barge, ship's boat, and wherries. Wherries here means various kind of seafaring vessels. So they carried all the things with a young native pilot who was very familiar with the path of the coast, and but they just carried all the things, but the stormy weather, the climate hindered the voyages. Hindered means that it may the weather make it difficult for the people who was on the long ship. Voyagers means the long trip, mostly people do in the ship. And after all the things, they were glad enough to enter one of the mouths of the river and escape the seething ocean. So they were very glad after all, after they feel that they would enter into the ocean and to escape the seething ocean. Seething ocean means too crowded. So they were, after all the stormy weather seasons and destruction, they were glad that they would enter the mouth of the river, means that they would come at a corner or the end of the river and to escape the seething ocean. Seething ocean means crowded ocean, and that is very, you can say, running. But here new troubles surrounded them, Regals described it later. So after all these new troubles were there in their way, so here he wrote, if God had not sent us help, we might have wandered a whole year in that labyrinth of rivers, ere we had found any way. And if we went by the ocean or compass, hoping thereby to go directly one way or other, yet that way also we were carried in a circle among multitudes of islands. Every island was so bordered with big trees, as no man could see any farther than breadth of the river or the length of the branch. So these were the words that said by Raleigh when they found that they are in trouble, and on the account of the expedition he said that if God had not sent any of the person for our help, we might have wandered a whole year in that labyrinth. So in case अगर उन्होंने, वो कह रहे कि अगर भगवान ने हमारे लिए कोई हेल्प ना भेजी होती तो हम इस कैद, नदियों की कैद में पूरी लाइफ के लिए घूमते रहते. सो हम कोई रास्ता नहीं ढूंढ पाते. एंड इफ़ वी वेंट बाय सन और कंपास होपिंग देयर बाय टू गो डायरेक्टली वन अदर, तो और अगर हम किसी सन और कंपास की मदद से वी विल ट्राई टू पास दिस, हमें फिर भी वी कैन नॉट बी एबल टू फाइंड एनी ऑफ द करेक्ट पाथ एक्सेप्ट मल्टीट्यूड्स ऑफ आइलैंड. सो because every island was bordered with big trees and no man could see any farther than breadth of the river. So the island was covered with so big trees that no one can able to pass that length, or no one could able to see any of the thing except the trees and the breadth of the river or length of the branch. So the pilot proved to be useless in the maze of waterways, but they fortunate to meet 3 other natives. So what this is here, the pilot proved to be useless in the maze of waters. The pilot was proved useless, but they found fortunate to meet 3 other natives. But as they felt that pilot is useless for them to cross this pathway and to cross all the things, but after this they found another 3 people, other 3 natives. There they proved as fortunate, and who become friendly when they found they had nothing to fear from the strange with men. So then they become friendly with all the 3 natives as they found कि उनको अभी इनसे डरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. One of them was an old man who knew the river thoroughly. So those 3 people, one person was very old, so who knew the river thoroughly, तो उसको जुबानी रिवर का रास्ता पता था. Presents and kind words induced him to guide the voyagers past the obstacle. So the kind words and presents induced him to guide, तो उनको उसने जो उनके kind words and some presents forces him to tell the voyagers to pass the obstacles. Resting that night on a little knoll on the wooden banks of the stream, they were off again early the next morning. So they rest at night on a small round hill. Knoll here means small round hill. So wooden banks, stream के wooden banks में उन्होंने rest किया and they were off. So again next morning they started their journey. The river was still swift and violent. So the speed of the flowing water was still the same. It was flowing in a very great speed, and the banks were so crowded with trees and high reeds that they could not land and were almost stripped from the closeness of the air. And the banks were so crowded with the trees, and the bank of rivers were so crowded with trees, high trees and high reeds. Reeds means a tall plant like grass or that grows in or near the water. So all around it was crowded with trees and high reeds that they could not even land. So everything becomes stifled from the closeness of the air. So stifled means that everything was so congested that they could not be that they could not breathe properly from the closeness of air. As there were no passage of air, there was no corner or any way that they could get some air. So they were feeling stifled. After 4 hard and weary days, the explorers reached a smoother channel and found they could proceed more easily. So after 4 hard days, they found a channel, they found a way from there where they can proceed easily. But the tropical heat grew more oppressive each day. But the heat was getting more oppressive each day, means that they were getting more uncomfortable in that heat. They began to complain bitterly, and Raleigh had to use all his power to persuasion in order to induce them to go. So all of the people, all of the voyagers were complaining so badly as they were getting frustrated with the growing tropical heat that was making them uncomfortable. But Raleigh used his proper efforts. He put all the efforts to make them sure and to persuade them so that they would continue with him. Yet the country was in many ways beautiful. Yet once they arrived, they saw that country was beautiful in many ways. Here, there, and the woods ceased, and to broad plains spread out, covered with luxuriant herbage, amid which rose at intervals groves of beautiful trees. So the country was very beautiful in many different ways. Like it was covered with the trees and plants that was very rich in growth, and the rose intervals groves at beautiful trees. So graceful deer would come down to the water's edge and gaze fearlessly on the travelers with their big swift soft eyes. So what was the beauty? Like the vegetation and its growth was seems very beautiful, and graceful deer came along at the water edge, and they were gazing there fearlessly as on the travelers, so with their fearless big soft eyes. On the bank of these rivers, says Raleigh. So Raleigh was very much happy with all the environment. So he said that on the bank of these rivers, all these came here, and he was splendid after looking the beauty and after observing all the things there. Were fruits good to eat? Flowers too. Variety of trees. We refreshed ourselves many times with the fruits of the country, sometimes with fowls and fish. We saw birds of all colors, some carnation, some crimson, orange, tawny, purple, and so on, and sight great to behold. So he said that on these banks of rivers, sometimes we eat good fruits and we eat flowers too, and there are variety of trees that we found some fruits over there. So we refreshed ourselves many a times with the fruits of the country, and sometimes we eat other things like fowls and fishes. They saw birds of different color. They are of orange, they are of purple, they are of tanny, and many on. So it gives them a sigh of relief, and it gives them some relaxation. The adventure at length reached a village, and thereafter the natives had over their fright and learned that stranger meant them no harm. So the adventure reached a village, and thereafter the natives had got over their fright. So the natives of that village would get frightened, and after some time they'll learn that the strangers meant no harm to them. The people who were on the expedition meant no harm to them. They were very hospitable, entertained. Raleigh had learned that Spaniards had told them natives that English were robbers and cannibals. So Raleigh had learned that he came to know that the Spaniards told them, the natives, that the English people were robbers and cannibals. But to overcome the suspicious polyfiltering means to increase rapidly in a number of amount. So to overcome the suspicious among the natives, the greatest care was taken to treat them like kindness and gentleness. So to overcome that rudeness and that frightened behavior, they started greeting them with proper kindness and gentleness. This quickly had its effect, for the news spread that newcomers were friends of the red men. Provisions were brought men in profusion, fish, fowl, and fruits. So as with their kindness, it affected them quickly, and the news spread all around that the newcomers, the strangers who had reached to our village are the friends of red men, and they are very kind. So now they were served with fish, fowl, and fruits. Finally, after they had gone about 150 miles up to Orinoco, they reached the point where another great river, the Caroni, empties into it. So after passing the Orinoco, they reached the point where another river started, Caroni. The country here was more beautiful than they had yet seen, and prosperous villages were numerous on the bordering plains. So it was more beautiful view than the previous one they had seen. The natives had heard of the amicable character of the newcomers. So the natives of that Caroni heard that the new comers are of very friendly nature. Amicable means friendly. So they are of very friendly nature and greeted them with their great friendliness, doing all they could show how they trusted and admired them. So now they greeted them with great kindness, friendliness, and they are doing all the things to show them that they trusted and admired them. With one old chief named Topiwara, Raleigh held many interesting talks and learned from him about their country. A person named Topiwara, so Raleigh became very friendly with them, and he came to know about the country and the people of that region. In return, he told him about his own country and its great queen and showed him a portrait of Queen Elizabeth. So, in return, he told him about his own country, about the Queen Elizabeth and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth. Many days were spent with these people in hunting, fishing, and exploring, but they could learn nothing about the marvelous city they had come so far to seek. They learned many things like hunting, fishing, and exploring, but they could learn nothing about the marvelous city. Like they could found nothing about El Dorado as they were seeking so far about that city. The old chief told him that there were many fertile plains and valleys and numerous mines of silver and gold, but he knew nothing about the gold city. So the chief told him that there are many things like fertile plains, valleys, and numerous mines of silver and gold, but he himself doesn't know about the gold city, about El Dorado. So finally, Relic decided to go upon the Caroni, three parties being sent to explore the vicinity, while he with fourth rode up in the stream. So they decided to go up to the Caroni to explore more. He had been told a mighty cataract. Cataract means a large, steep waterfall, which he reached at length after a long struggle with the strong current of the river. So, after all the efforts, they reached at the length of cataract, a large steep waterfall with the strong current of the river, the strong flow of water. The cataract proved to be a series of giant cascades, 10 or 12 in number. In the world of Raleigh, I never saw a more beautiful country, hills so raised here and there over the valleys, the river winding into diverse branches and plains, enjoining all green grass without bush or stubble. The ground of hard sand, easy to march on, either for horses or foot. The birds singing on every tree with 1,000 sweet tunes. Crans and heroines of white, crimson, and carnation, perching up the riverside, the fair fresh with a gentle easterly wind, and every stone was stopped to pick up, promising either gold or silver by complexion. So he was very obsessed with all the things. He was pleased to see all the things, the beauty of that area, that he said that he never saw such a beautiful country. Like hills were so raised, everything was everywhere, there was hills and valleys, and river was diving into many branches, and the plains are adjoining all these grass without bush, and the sand. He was getting obsessed with all the things. He was just admiring the beauty of that country. And but at the end, still El Dorado lies concealed in the midst of legend and romance. So they explored so many things during their journey, but they could not able to find the mysterious city of gold they were seeking for so far. But during the journey, they met many people. They came to know about other things, and they explored two different countries, which he himself said that the most beautiful country he had ever seen. So this was all about this chapter. Thank you.